One of the challenges on this film was that there was a lot of people in small rooms a lot of the time.
What are the chances you have something alcoholic in there?
Better than average.
The coverage of those scenes was really important because it was particularly long script and long dialogue.
CBS wants to appoint an independent panel to take a look at how the story is put together.
We wanted to make sure that the time that we had was given to the performance.
Stop worrying about me.
No, well, that's not going to happen.
You gotta protect yourself now. We all do.
Tim Gray here with Artisans. Our guest is Mandy Walker, cinematographer for Truth. This film tells the story of 60 Minutes producer Mary Mapes and how a 2004 report on President George W. Bush's military service resulted in Rathergate, the scandal that forced Mapes and the network's biggest news star, Dan Rather, to leave CBS. James Vanderbilt, first-time director. Did you exchange photos saying this is the kind of look we're going for? Did you show films? What did you do?
Yeah, we did all that actually. Well, Jamie had a really very clear vision of what he wanted the film to be. He would explain to me how the audience were meant to read each part of the movie and what was going on with the character, and then we worked out a way of interpreting that visually.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my friend, Dan Rather.
I think a lot of lay people think that the mark of a good cinematographer is a beautiful sunset.
Yeah.
Great scenery. But a lot of people in the industry say it's the interiors that's the real telling point.
On this film, that Truth that I just shot, because it was mainly interiors and a lot of it is talking heads. And so the way that we approached the cinematography was, at the beginning of the film, when they're getting the story together and it's a bit more lighthearted, we would move the camera with the characters all the time. But once the story was starting to become questioned and Cate, her peers and her bosses were starting to interrogate her, we stopped moving the camera. It was all about her in the frame, in the centre of the frame, and the other characters would be flanking her. And then we picked 2 or 3 moments where we did move the camera in a very, very subtle way to intensify the drama. We dropped the depth of field back and the lighting became more dramatic. And there's less colour in the end of the movie, and especially by the time she gets to Black Rock. There's a sort of brooding atmosphere outside, and interior is quite dramatic and moody in the terms of lighting. And really, the only colour you see is the colour of her skin and the skin of the other people, and the clothes and everything else is sort of moving away so that this is where you're looking.
There's a lot of scenes with television monitors. Mm-hmm. For a layman, that seems like that would be kind of difficult to photograph.
Well, because a lot of the televisions were CRT tube televisions and really old computers, we actually couldn't have the images on the screen because they were rolling. So a lot of the time the screen was blank.
There are, I think, a few scenes of Cate Blanchett at home watching her television screen.
We had what we called a little TV light that we invented that was made of LED. It was like an LED panel that we would put different colours and have varying effects depending on what the footage was that we were replicating. Because Jamie always wanted to feel the presence of the TV and how it was affecting people.
Tonight, we have new information on the President's military service.
Now, sometimes below-the-line people bristle at the description of the tech categories.
Well, I would number 1 call myself an artist and 2 a technician, but I have to do both. And also I have to be a politician, but that's another thing, because on a big set I have to run a big crew and delegate and be in charge of a lot of people in a lot of other departments. But primarily I feel I'm an artist, and that's how I approach my job.
You are a woman. Is that difficult to be a woman cinematographer?
Well, I know there's not many of us, which is a shame, and I don't know the reason why. I think it really comes down to tradition. I think that cinematographers have traditionally been males, and because there is no other reason. But it's getting more and more. There's more girls in my camera department. It's changing. It definitely is changing. But I always want to be known as a cinematographer, not a female cinematographer. So I don't really take it on as an issue in my own life, my own work.